안녕하세요. Essential Korean K-쌤입니다. Since the last episode, we've marked the end of one year and the beginning of a new one. 새해, a time that often brings reflection on the past and plans for change. I hope this reflective and hopeful time makes the new year special and meaningful for all of you. Here is a small piece from my own reflection. When I started this podcast and wrote my first episode, 첫 번째 에피소드, I imagined one person, 한 사람, someone with no prior knowledge of Korean, a true beginner. That first episode, 첫 번째 에피소드, was when I met that student, 학생, for the first time in my imagination. And I've continued to meet the same person in each episode since, always hoping that he or she's making steady progress in Korean with the lessons I provide. Along the way, I've shared some personal things, including songs, 노래, and dramas, 드라마, that I appreciate. Now at episode 57, I feel that the space we've created through the Essential Korean podcast, it's safe and comfortable enough for me to do what I'm about to do today. My father passed away about a month ago. He was 89 years old, 89세, and lived a good life. Many who knew him paid their respect and reminisced about the time they spent with him with love and appreciation. For his funeral, 장례식, my brothers and I each prepared a eulogy. When I started writing mine, it soon turned into a letter, 편지 to my father. I shared it at the funeral in both Korean and English with those who came to commemorate his life. I'll share that letter with you today as well. I hope to achieve two things simultaneously in doing so. First, to do my usual job of providing a Korean lesson, and second, to pay tribute to my father, or 아빠, the term I always use to address him. Shall we begin our lesson for today then? Let's get started. First, let me give you a rundown of the key vocabulary and key forms to learn in today's episode. Let's start with a few nouns and verbs. We'll begin with a word that is especially fitting for the context of today's episode. The word for memory or memories in Korean, 기억. When this noun 기억 is followed by the verb 하다, it forms 기억하다, which means to actively recall something or to commemorate. On the other hand, when 기억 is followed by the verb 나다, it becomes 기억나다, which describes memories naturally surfacing rather than being actively recalled. The next verb pair is 생각하다 and 생각나다. 생각 is a noun meaning thoughts, and when combined with the verb 하다, to do, it forms 생각하다, which describes someone actively engaging in thinking. On the other hand, when 생각 is combined with 나다, creating 생각나다, it describes thoughts naturally surfacing to one's conscious mind. Do you see the difference between 생각하다 and 생각나다 and how they compare to the previous verb pair, 기억하다 and 기억나다? Both 생각하다 and 기억하다, when used with 하다, focus on the person actively engaging in the action of thinking, 생각, or remembering, 기억. Meanwhile, 생각나다 and 기억나다, when used with 나다, focus on thoughts, 생각, and memories, 기억, that naturally arise in one's conscious mind. At a funeral, 장례식, people gather to commemorate the deceased. That action of commemorating is 기억하다. But when writing the letter to my father, many memories naturally came to me. That's 기억나다. Memories surfacing. Or you could also say 생각나다. Thoughts surfacing in my mind. The next word pair is 따뜻하다 and 따뜻함. 따뜻하다 is a descriptive verb meaning to be warm, while 따뜻함 is its noun form meaning warmth. So 따뜻하다 means to be warm and 따뜻함 means warmth. You'll hear these words 기억하다 to remember, 기억나다 to have memories surfacing, 생각하다 to think, 생각나다 to have thoughts surfacing, 따뜻하다 to be warm, and 따뜻함, warmth, when I read the letter with you in a short while. Let's move on from vocabulary to the forms. I'll note 3 forms today. First, there is a verb conjunctive that will appear frequently in my letter. The verb conjunctive, which was first introduced in episode 37 and reviewed in many episodes since. As a quick review, we can conjugate any verb into the go form to give it the meaning of and. For example, 나는 Essential Korean 팟캐스트를 시작했어요. 그리고 여러분을 만났어요. Which means I started the Essential Korean podcast and I met all of you. 나는 Essential Korean 팟캐스트를 시작했어요. 그리고 여러분을 만났어요. I started the Essential Korean podcast and I met all of you. These 2 sentences can be combined into one sentence using the co-conjunctive. 나는 Essential Korean 팟캐스트를 시작하고 I started the Essential Korean podcast and 여러분을 만났어요. Met all of you. Here comes the sentence again. 나는 Essential Korean 팟캐스트를 시작하고 여러분을 만났어요. I started the Essential Korean podcast and met all of you. And on to the second form, the 지요 verbal ending, or 지 without 요 in 반말, also known as casual style or direct style. This verbal ending is a wonderfully versatile form used in daily conversation to make speech more inclusive and engaging. One common usage of the 지요 or 지 ending functions like an English tag question, where the speaker seeks confirmation of what they've just said. Here are some examples. You went to New York, didn't you? Or, you went to New York, right? You saw your dad, didn't you? Or, you saw your dad, right? He opened his eyes, didn't he? Or, he opened his eyes, right? What I said is right, isn't it? Or, what I said is right, right? You can hear what I'm saying, can't you? Or, you can hear what I'm saying, right? In Korean, the role of tag questions is carried out by embedding 지요 or 지 in the verb itself, unlike in English, where it is formed with a separate additional phrase in the sentence, such as, isn't it? Didn't you? Aren't you? Or simply, right? I'll now say the Korean equivalents of the 5 previous example sentences in the polite style. Listen for the 지요 ending at the end of each sentence. Here they come. You went to New York, right? 뉴욕에 갔지요? You saw your father, right? 아버지 뵀지요? Your father opened his eyes, right? 아버지가 눈 뜨셨지요? What I said is right, right? 내 말 맞지요? You can hear what I'm saying, right? 제 말 들리지요? Now I'll say the same sentences again, but this time in a more natural way, the way native Koreans would say them in real life conversations. You went to New York, right? 뉴욕에 갔죠? You saw your father, right? 아버지 뵀죠? Your father opened his eyes, right? 아버지가 눈 뜨셨죠? What I said is right, right? 내 말 맞죠? You can hear what I'm saying, right? 제 말 들리죠? As you just heard, 지요 is usually not fully enunciated, but instead contracts into 조, 저, or even 초 or 쳐, depending on what comes before them. Regardless of how it's pronounced in different situations, this ending is consistently used to engage listeners in the speaker's thoughts or assumptions. You'll see the 지요 or 지 ending at work in real life with the background story I'm about to share with you. My father had suffered a stroke and had been bedridden, unable to move or open his eyes for a couple of weeks. During that time, I had a vivid dream of him one night, which spurred me to fly from Korea to New York, where he was. 한국에서 아빠가 계신 뉴욕으로 갔어요. I went to New York, where 아빠 was. 한국에서 아빠가 계신 뉴욕으로 갔어요. When I arrived at the hospice with my mother, she started talking to my dad, as she always did on every visit. 여보, 딸 왔어. 경아, 눈 좀 떠봐요. Honey, your daughter 경아 came. Open your eyes and see, she said. 여보, 딸 왔어. 경아, 눈 좀 떠봐요. You know me as K-Sam, but to my father, I am his daughter, 경아. The difference between my 엄마, mom, and me at that moment was that she believed he could hear her, while I didn't think he was able to hear anything. 엄마는 아빠가 들을 수 있다고 생각하고 나는 아빠가 들을 수 없다고 생각했어요. My mom believed my dad could hear, while I thought he couldn't. Her actions and behavior showed no doubt that he could hear her. And after she urged him, you know what? Although weak, he indeed opened his eyes. 아빠가 눈을 뜨셨어요. 아빠 opened his eyes. 아빠가 눈을 뜨셨어요. 이거 봐, 경아야. 여보, 경아 보이지? 경아 한국에서 왔어. 여보, 기다렸지? 그래, 그래서 경아 왔어. 기다렸지? My mom was ecstatic, talking to both me and my father at the same time. 이거 봐, 경아야. 여보, 경아 보이지? 경아 한국에서 왔어. 여보, 기다렸지? 그래, 그래서 경아 왔어. 기다렸지? 이거 봐, 경아야. means look, 경아. 여보, 경아 보이지? Honey, you can see 경아, right? 경아 한국에서 왔어. 경아 arrived from Korea. 여보, 기다렸지? Honey, you waited for her, right? 그래, 그래서 경아 왔어. Yes, that's why 경아 came. 기다렸지? You waited, right? My mom, an 86 years old, frail, small lady, looked so big in that moment as she helped my father open his eyes, and I witnessed it. She continued talking to my father, who had briefly opened his eyes but soon returned to a quiet, still state with his eyes closed. I started to talk to him. 아빠한테 얘기하기 시작했어요. I started to talk to 아빠. 아빠한테 얘기하기 시작했어요. His eyes were closed, but now I believed he could hear me. Then the next day, 3 of my 이모들, my mother's younger sisters, who also live in New York, came to the hospice to see my father. Their children, my cousins, and my brothers often call them the Kim sisters, a term synonymous with sisters full of energy, full of life, hot-tempered, and loud. Around my father, the Kim sisters reminisced about old memories they had with him, laughing and sharing their own stories, while occasionally turning to my father for confirmation. 형부, 들리죠? Brother-in-law, you can hear us, right? 형부, 맞죠? Brother-in-law, that's right, isn't it? 형부, 들리지요? 형부, 맞죠? 형부 is a term used to refer to or address one's older sister's husband. And that's how my aunts, who were all younger than my mother, always addressed my father. To confirm what they were saying with my father, they added the 지요 ending each time they spoke to him. 형부, 들리죠? 형부, you can hear me, right? 형부, 맞죠? 형부, it's right, right? 형부, 내 말이 맞죠? 형부, I'm right, right? They included him in the conversation and sought his agreement with their stories using these phrases. 들리죠? You can hear, right? 맞지요? I'm correct, right? The 지요 ending never felt more endearing to me. Now to the third form you'll hear a lot in the eulogy. It's the syllable 셨. The 셨 in verbs contains the honorific infix 시 and the past tense marker, meaning that the verb is both honorific and in the past tense. When reminiscing about my father and talking about him, I used honorific verbs in the past tense. When eavesdropping on Korean conversations, if you hear syllables like 세, 셔, or 셨 in verbs, you can tell that the speaker is talking about someone else because in Korean, you don't use honorifics for yourself. Additionally, verbs containing 시, 세, 셔, or 셨 have been conjugated according to the honorific rules for different tenses and speech styles. Less specific than the vocabulary or forms we've discussed so far, there's one more thing I would like to point out. Speech style, which is marked at the end of sentences. The first part of the eulogy I prepared was a short introduction of the letter addressed to those present at the funeral, 장례식. For that part, I used a formal speech style marked by the 읍니다 ending. It was a natural choice for me to use the formal style when addressing the audience gathered for the solemn ritual of sending off a loved one. The second part of the eulogy following the introduction is the letter I wrote to my father. You'll notice that the speech style used in the letter is the 요 style, also known as the informal polite style. That's the speech style I always used when talking to my father, so it was only natural that I wrote the letter in 요 style as well. The Korean word for father is 아버지, while the word for dad is 아빠. Some of you may remember the episode where I talked about Korean speech styles and shared a personal anecdote. How one day my mom told my brothers and me that we should use 존댓말, polite speech, when speaking to our father. At that time, we were all in elementary school. She never asked that for herself, but she did for our dad. We all followed her request, but how I addressed my father never changed. My brothers switched back and forth between 아버지, father, and 아빠, dad, but I always stuck with 아빠. Perhaps 아버지 sounded too distant to me, or maybe I wanted to continue calling him 아빠 to hold on to the warmth, 따뜻함 of my childhood memories with him. Before reading the letter, let me briefly remind you of the key vocabulary and forms. 기억하다, to remember. 기억나다, to have memories surfacing within me. 생각하다, to think. 생각나다, to have thoughts surfacing within me. 따뜻하다, to be warm. 따뜻함, warmth. And for the forms, remember the co-conjunctive, the 지요 or 지 ending, and the honorific verb. Now, I hope you are ready to follow along with the eulogy I shared with my family and friends at my father's funeral, 아빠 장례식. You'll hear each line in Korean first, followed by the English, so you'll be able to connect the Korean with its meaning. 아빠께서는 신중하고 과묵하신 분이셨습니다. Our father was a thoughtful and reserved man. 말씀은 많이 안 하셨지만, though he did not speak much, 조용한 행동과 행실로, through quiet actions and the way he lived his life. 누구보다도 많은 가르침을 주신 분이셨습니다. He taught us more than anyone ever could. 저는 저희 삼남매를 비롯해 주변의 많은 분들에게 선한 영향과 따뜻한 기억을 남기고 가신 아버지께 드리는 편지로 조사를 대신하겠습니다. In place of a eulogy, I want to share this letter to my father, who left behind a gentle yet profound impact and warm memories for us, his 3 children, and so many others. 아빠, 저를 기다리셨죠? Dad, you're waiting for me, right? 저는 그것도 생각 못했어요. I didn't realize it. 죄송해요. I am so sorry. 만중이가 곁에 있었고, 만중 was by your side, and 오빠도 와서 아빠가 보셨고, 오빠 came and you saw him, and 이제 경아만 보면 되겠다 그러셨나 봐요. Perhaps you thought, now I just need to see 경아. 그래서 제가 오니까 아빠가 그렇게 오래 감고 계시던 눈을 뜨시고, So when I arrived, you opened your eyes, those eyes you had kept closed for so long, and 저를 맞아주셨던 거지요? It was that you welcomed me, right, 아빠? 표정은 못 지어주셨지만 You couldn't smile for me, but 너무 반갑고 좋아하셨으리라 생각해요. I believe you were so happy and glad. 너무 죄송하지만 딸이니까 I feel so sorry, but because I'm your daughter, 죄송함보다는 아빠를 기쁘게 해드린 걸 더 많이 생각할게요. I'll try to think more about the joy I gave you rather than the regret I feel. 인자, benevolence, 인내, patience, 신중, prudence, 배려, thoughtfulness, 자상, gentle care. 아빠를 생각하면 떠오르는 단어들이에요. These are the words that come to mind when I think of you. 다 아빠가 주변 사람들을 고려하고 묵묵히 쓰시는 마음을 나타내는 말들 투성이네요. Every single one reflects your deep thoughtfulness and the way you always put others before yourself with quiet strength. 그렇다면 참 오랜만에, then after a long time, 아니 어쩌면 처음으로, no maybe for the first time ever, 오롯한 한 인간으로서의 아빠는 어떤 사람일까 생각해 봅니다. I find myself wondering who was 아빠 in his own right simply as a human being. 아빠는 정의를 사랑하셨고 you loved justice and 의지력이 강하셨고 you had incredible willpower and 아픔이나 슬픔이나 인생의 어려운 시간들을 감내하셨고 you endured pain, sorrow, and the unexpected trials of life without ever showing it. And 그리고 자식들도 영원히 알 수 없을 아빠만의 희망과 꿈과 계획으로 채워진 아빠만의 세계가 있으셨겠죠? And I suspect you had your own private world filled with your own hopes, dreams, and plans. Even we, your children, could never fully know, right? 저는 아빠를 생각하면 When I think of you, 아빠, 늘 청년의 모습이 떠올라요. I always see the silhouette of a youthful man. 70세의 아빠도, 80세의 아빠도, 아빠 both at 70 and even at 80, 변함없이 늘 푸른 잔디 같은 느낌의 아빠이셨어요. You are always like an ever-fresh, unchanging stretch of green grass. 그런데 아빠가 떠나신 후부터 But ever since you left, 아빠를 생각하는 순간마다 Each time I think of you, 따뜻함이 저를 감싸기 시작했어요. Warmth started to surround me. 저를 둘러싼 그 따뜻함에 by the warmth that surrounds me, 보호받는 느낌을 가지게 되었어요. I came to have the feeling that I am protected. 신기해요. It's strange. 편안해요. It's comforting. 이제 아빠를 잠시 떠나보내드려야 하지만 I must let you go for now, but 앞으로 제가 살아가는 시간 동안 during the time that I live from now, 아빠의 온기와 계속 함께 할 수 있을 것 같아서 because I feel I'll be able to be with your warmth, 너무 감사합니다. I am so grateful. 저는 아빠가 저희 아빠이셨던 것이 얼마나 행운이었는지 이제 깨달았습니다. Only now do I truly realize how lucky I was to have you, 아빠, as my father. 아빠, 좋은 곳에서 편히 쉬세요. 아빠, rest peacefully in the good place. 아빠에게 to you 아빠 자주 편지 드리도록 할게요. I will write to you often. 아빠를 존경하고 아빠에게 감사하고 아빠를 사랑하는 딸 경아 올림. From your daughter 경아 who respects you and is grateful to you and love you. I hope I was able to achieve two things today. First, that you took away the key lesson points from today's episode using authentic Korean from my own life. And second, that I was able to pay tribute to my father, whom I've come to realize left a lasting impact on how I now view life. I'll end today's episode with a song I remember as my father's favorite. One he often sang or hummed from as far back as I can remember. Maggie의 추억, Remembering Maggie, which I later learned was the Korean version of the American folk song titled When You and I Were Young, Maggie. Thank you for listening, everyone. I'll connect with you in the next episode. 고맙습니다. 안녕히 계세요.